The season finale, season 3, Invincible. This man Mark just can't catch a break. Another blast from the past is catching up with him in the fucking season finale of Invincible. Captain Megamind, aka Mr. Levy, is back, but this time he's not just causing trouble. He's unleashing a multiverse of Invincibles, straight on all-out war. No buildup, no hesitation. As we come into episode 7, all you see is a massacre of absolute chaos. From start to finish, this is full of excitement and one of the best episodes in the series thus far. This man, Levy, doesn't just let these alternate marks loose. He puts them on a mission, and he lets them completely off the leash. Earth is in shambles after all of their destruction. Every version of Invincible you can think of is wreaking havoc, and it is a pure bloodbath. The craziest part about all this is Omni-Man was right. He ruled it with an iron fist for a reason, so things like this wouldn't happen. Sometimes you just gotta let the demon loose to keep the peace. I'm going to jump all over the place because I was so enthralled with these last 2 episodes. If you thought Endgame was peak superhuman superhero warfare, episode 7 says, watch this. We're getting all types of callbacks. We get to see an Omni-Man hybrid / Invincible. We get to see the Guardians of the Globe in the exact same place that Nolan destroyed and killed everybody. Immortal, he gets his head ripped off again. Rexplode, he dies, gone. Major characters dropping like flies. It is the Thanos level snap devastation, and it doesn't let up. Beyond the biblical level of all this gore, the atmosphere is stunning. The animation is peak, and you can tell they've saved all of their money to these last couple of episodes. It's very dark, detailed, and brutal. But what seals the deal? The music. Every track enhances the weight of the moment, making the destruction feel even more personal. It's a perfect mixture of haunting, adrenaline pumping that elevates this episode to a masterpiece. One of the wildest parts about this entire episode is Megamind manipulated every single version of Mark. The multiverse is opened up, so we don't really get to understand what the particulars are, but we know that Megamind is sitting over here, and his only goal is to have the alternate Marks take out the Mark Grayson. Out of the 18 to 20 Invincibles that are around, they managed to kill over half before Megamind sends the rest into an endless void. And just when you think we're here at the climax, he steps into the battlefield himself, and he is ready to take on Mark. Like I've been saying all along, this is peak anime. This is some real life anime, and this is what we all wanted. But just as they are handed the golden ticket, they kind of leave us on a baby cliffhanger. We wanted to see Mark go balls deep on all the different Invincibles from different realities. He does get his hands on a few of them, but we wanted to see him destroy them all. And that is taken from us when Megamind, aka Mr. Levy, sends them into that endless void. But once he makes his appearance, he's playing the real life Portal, just like the video game. He's using rifts to dodge, counter, and stay steps ahead. At first, it looks like he's getting the upper hand on Mark, but then he snaps. Mark understands because this is his second time fighting him. He goes Ultra Instinct mode, and he lands the final blow, and then boom. Right as he's about to do it, Oliver pops up, causing just enough distraction for Megamind to escape. Yet again, another cliffhanger. Everything was going so perfect, but of course, they fumble the bag at the very end. And as that ends, the dust begins to settle. Cecil is forced to eat his own words because, let's be honest, they're putting all their differences aside right now because the world is truly at war, especially against all these Invincibles. With most of the heroes dead or retired, he has no choice but to ask Mark to lead the Guardians of the Globe. It's a wild moment because we know how confident, we know how cocky Cecil is. But Mark, being the kid who just wants to be a hero, he's like, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that, but I appreciate the offer. And in that regard, episode 7 is truly perfect. But I did it a little bit different this time. I wanted to combine episode 7 and episode 8 because we get the final boss. This is where Prime blew their budget. And long arrives Conquest. He steps in, and I just want you all to know he is truly different. He's not just another Viltrumite. He's not Nolan. He's not Mark. He's not the 3. He's not any of that. This man is straight up king of the Viltrumites energy. He's got a Thanos gauntlet. He's way worse than Nolan. He may even be worse and stronger than Battle Beast, and Cecil knows it. He even suggests Conquest might be stronger than Omni-Man. Crazy. I truly can't I can't stress this enough. The animation in episode 8 is even better than 7. It is pure God tier status. Every cut, every frame, brutal exchanges between Conquest and Invincible. You feel every single punch. Conquest isn't just fighting. He's monologuing like a villain. He is untouchable. Some of the coldest one-liners I've ever heard. This man could definitely do an audiobook and I would listen to it. It is great, and he is pure evil. As we know from the past episodes, Viltrumites usually come down to explain that, hey, you're not doing what you're supposed to. You're supposed to conquer, so whenever the Viltrumite army comes, they will be ready. Not Conquest. He is sent there on a mission, and he even says, I was sent here especially for you. All of the locks are off. The gloves are coming off, and I'm here to destroy. And as peak anime always happens, as soon as we get this beautiful setup for the battle, Oliver, in all his youthful confidence and ignorance, steps up. Big mistake. Conquest absolutely dismantles him. Literally. He grabs him, hits him in the face, knocks out all his teeth, and then he announces that he is going to rip him in half. And in one of the most grotesque scenes yet, he does that. Step by step, he details how he is going to do that. He grabs Oliver, puts him above his head, and he talks in this horror into his ear. He's whispering, I am going to rip your muscle from your spine. Your vertebrae is going to begin to rip apart. And then if you're strong enough, if you are worthy enough, if you have the confidence and the conscience to still be around, you're going to feel your skin begin to rip. That is what Conquest brings to the table. That is why he is the conqueror. And in the midst of all this, you got to understand, Mark is getting his ass whooped. But here is the turning point. Eve finally wakes up from the coma from episode 7. All of the alternative universe, all the different multiverse Marks put her into a coma. And like I said, Mark needs all the help he can get. But in this fight, this is his breaking point. Conquest doesn't just give speeches. He destroys while giving you motivation. And as soon as Eve comes up, she tells Cecil she's going to the battlefield. He definitely should have made her stay, but what's he going to do? Eve jumps in and she is getting it in. She's throwing all of her different combos. She's showing a different side of her. She is going down to the molecular level. It is beautiful, but it's Conquest. After she blows her load, he grabs her. One solid hook. Her jaw is gone. And then with that perfect dagger, he cuts her in half. Insides ripped out. Guts everywhere. This is the moment. This is where Conquest wanted to push Mark. And with that, Mark has officially passed his limit. And it just gets better. The fight, the greatest fight of all time, is arguably coming up upon us. I'm talking the fight between Invincible versus Conquest is up there with Goku versus Frieza, All Might versus One for All, Old Man Gon Freaks, Levi versus the Beast Titan, Naruto versus Madara. This scene shakes everything. Every single punch, there is a shockwave in the sky, one after one. This has to be one of the most grueling fights in animation history. Both of Mark's hands are broken. He gets Conquest on the ground and begins that beautiful think Mark, left, right. Conquest is like, you're not going to take me out. So he breaks both of Mark's hands. At this point, Mark loses it. He goes pure beast mode. He starts biting his neck, biting his throat. And then for the grand finale, foreheads to the face until he is executed. The weight of this scene, the insanity, the darkness, the pushing beyond your limits makes this scene an instant classic. But you know what they say? As one door closes, another opens. And there is so much to process on the season finale. Episodes 7 and 8 are amazing. Both episodes delivered, and it delivered a cinematic masterpiece. These last two episodes are a 10 out of 10. And I don't know what's coming next, but we know we got Battle Beast. We know we have the return of Omni-Man. There is so much, and we have the Viltrumite army. So many things to ponder on, so many things to think about. But that is the season finale of Invincible, one of the greatest, and they needed to do that after season 2. This is 10 out of 10 animation. Let me know what you think about the season finale down below, and I will see you all in the next one. Looking forward to it. Peace.